Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Friday morning. So, I'm doing my What Did I Play this Thursday at the Chippenham Board Game Club. So, we played 2 games last night. Some tables only played 1 game because they were on like big sprawling things like Terraforming Mars was one table. But we played 2 games, and I'm going to do one of those games in this video, and I'll do the other one in another video. So, the first game that we played was we've played it before. I don't own it. I've not played it with Bear. It's a train game, and it's like a tile laying, but it's not really tiles. It's tracks, little pieces of wood, and the game is On the Underground. So this is the original version, I think, from 2006 Rio Grande Games. So there's a newer version now. I don't know who prints it, but it's got a London map on one side and Berlin on the other side. This was just a London map. Basically, the game is depending on the player count, you're in control of a certain number of colours of track. So we played a 5-player game, which was great, and so we each had 2 colours of tracks. And the idea is that there is a passenger, and the passenger travels around the underground, and you're trying to lay tracks that passenger will use, and then each time the passenger uses your track, one of your tracks, you've got 2 in a 5-player game, then you get points. You get 1 point for each time they travel along your track. And the way that the game works is you've got all the underground stations laid out on the map, and each player in turn, you basically lay 4 pieces of this little wooden track onto the board, and you can lay them anywhere, but you have to lay them in a continuous line until such time when you can use a special power to not do that. And so, for instance, I was yellow and white, my tracks, so I could lay 4. So you get 4 pieces that you can lay. I could lay 4 yellows out along anywhere on the underground, or I could lay 4 whites out, or I could lay 1 yellow, 3 whites, whatever. But you lay them in their own space, so the yellows connect to the yellows, and the whites only need to connect to the whites. And you do that, as I say, you have to be at the end of the line when you lay the tracks, so you can't kind of start another track or branch off in another way. You can branch off when you use tokens later, which I'll tell you about. But you're basically laying end to end on this track, and then once you've laid your tracks, the passenger moves from one station to another station, and that is determined by, there are 4 cards that are drawn off of a shuffled deck, and there are 2 types of destination that he's going to go to. One is an express, which is a gold colour, and one is a standard, which is a silver colour. And if there are 4 out and there's a gold and a silver available, he will travel to the next nearest, because he always travels the shortest route and the least number of line changes and or walking distances, because he'll walk if there's no tracks available. I say he, she, maybe. And so the passenger will move to the next gold one first, so he does an express trip first, and then the nearest silver one from that. So you look at the sort of 4 cards that are available, and you think, well, if he's going to move from there to there, maybe if I lay some tracks in between here, use my track and I'll get points. But then maybe he's going to move over there, so you have to just kind of figure out where you're going to lay your tracks to your best advantage. And obviously at some point all of those stations are going to come up, so he's going to go and visit all these stations, so you have to kind of just think, well, where is going to be the most advantageous place for me to lay? And some of the tracks, a bit like Ticket to Ride, some of the tracks available to you are maybe just 1 wide, so if you put a track there, it's filled, nobody else can go there. Some are 2 wide, some are 3 or 4 wide, so there's less of a rush to get to those spaces, obviously. And that is basically it. You can get extra points if you lay a track that goes to a national rail station, which is a little like national rail icon. If you lay a track to that, you get a point. If you lay a track to a terminus, which is an end point on the edge of the board, you lay a track to that, you get 2 points and a little token, which is a branch token. And if you get 2 of those later on, you can branch off of your track. If you connect to, there are some randomly spaced out little icons that they're just basically can't think what they were called, but they're just little icons, say like a piece of hand luggage or a wine glass. I don't know what they're supposed to represent, but I'm sure they're thematic in the game if you read the rule book, but we were just learning the game. But if you connect two of those, for instance, and they're randomly laid out, if your track connects two of those, you get, I think it's 3 points. 3 points for that. And then, as I say, every time the passenger rides your rail, you get 1 point for that. And whichever colour, if it's, for instance, in mine, yellow or white, you get 1 point. And so the idea is that you're trying to, as I say, build tracks that will get the most use as the passenger moves around these tracks. So you lay 4, and then the passenger moves to a gold and then to a silver. If there are no golds drawn out, and by the way, when they go to that station then gets discarded and a new one is drawn. If there are no gold out in the draw of the 4 cards and they're just silver, you only do 1 trip. So your turn is lay 4 tracks of any choice, 1 or 4 or different colours. Score your points for those laying of tracks, whether you've done terminuses and stations and things like that. And then move the passenger to a gold, then move to a silver. That's your go. If there's only silvers, you only move once, so you don't get 2 chances to score. That's pretty much the game. Very, very simple in concept, but very, very kind of take-thaty. Obviously, when you're trying to get your tracks where somebody else wants their tracks, so you've got that kind of whole ticket to ride thing where you're trying to get the tracks first in a space that everyone else is trying to get to. But also you're trying to think, well, and when you move the passenger, you're kind of in control of where they go as long as it's the shortest route. So, for instance, and the shortest number of changes as well. So if there are 2 lines down one track that the passenger is going to use, if one of those is yours, then you say he's going down my track there, not the other one. So you will score that part of the track. You know, you'll get 1 point for him going down that part of the track rather than the other person's track, because you're in charge of it. So obviously you're not going to give the point to somebody else and say, oh, he's going down the blue track, he's going down my track, the yellow track. But that's it, yeah. And you just kind of score along as you go. You go until all the destination cards come out, and then you're done. It took us about 2 hours, I think, maybe an hour and a half. Yeah, probably an hour and a half to play as a 5-player game, which wasn't bad. And it was great fun, really good. Lots of take that, because you're kind of blocking each other's way. There are certain points, as I say, when you're laying your track end to end, that's all you can do. So at a certain point you'll be sort of spinning around. End to end, I mean you can turn as you're going, but you cannot, if you had a straight line there, you cannot just come out at a T, for instance. You can do that if you've got 2 of those little terminuses tokens. They're called branch tokens. If you've got 2 of those, you can just pay those in at any point and then branch off of a straight line or a continuous line. You can branch off at any point, and that's very important, because obviously there are certain points when you're going to end up getting sort of painted into a corner by other lines and you can't go any further, so you kind of want to backtrack to a different station and then branch off, but you can only do that when you've got those tokens, and you only get those tokens when you go to a terminus. So again, that's a kind of dead end for you, so it's kind of counterintuitive to go to a dead end, but then you get that bonus of getting you get a couple of points for going to the terminus, but also you get these tokens that you can then use as branches. Very good, thinky little game, not too heavy, very simple, good fun at 5. I can't wait to actually try, and Shortest plays it too, but I can't wait to try this with Bear. I know she's going to enjoy this one, I think. Really exciting game. Excited? Don't know about excited. Yeah, no, it was I enjoyed it. It was fun, good fun game. So on the Underground, as I say, this was the original version, or an earlier version if there's one before that, I don't know. 2006 Rio Grande game, so you might be able to find it quite cheap on Board Game Geek Market, I don't know, or eBay. But yeah, I think, from memory, I think we may have played the later version as well at the club, which is, as I say, it's called On the Underground as well. It's got a very colourful front box cover, and it's got a Berlin and London map on opposite sides of the board, so it's kind of a bit more longevity in that. But thoroughly recommend this one, On the Underground, a game we played this Thursday at the Chippenham Board Game Club. Hopefully you're enjoying this little series. Give us a thumbs up and a like if you do, and obviously share it around, get some more subscriptions for us. That's pretty much it on this one. I'm going to see if I'm going to do another one that we played last night, which will be on the next video. Okay, see you on the next one, team. Thanks for coming to watch, and we'll see you again. Bye.